Hey everybody, Nicola here. We're live and boy oh boy, could it get exciting. And I'm sure that a lot of you who are in long trades could possibly be feeling very nervous right now. Those of you in short trades could be getting really excited. So today we've got a great show for you today. We're going to be looking at technical analysis for Bitcoin, a little bit on Ethereum and XRP and Chainlink if we had time. And I put Chainlink in the description, but look what's happening with the S&P 500. The New York stock market is teetering on breaking another key level of support, which could end up seeing a little bit of a stock market crash. Now, I really don't want to get all fuddy or scaremongery, because as we're speaking, look at that. Let me just zoom in on the S&P. See, we've just started a green candle. Looks like we've got a bounce, but we have created a lower low. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? What does that mean for the crypto markets? That is what we're going to look at. So I just want to remind everybody to, if you haven't already signed up for my free masterclass this Wednesday, link is below. I'm looking at strategies for whether or not we're in a bear market or a bull market. There's lots of FUD and also lots of moon boys clashing with each other right now, which is playing out on the charts between the shorts and the longs in a fight. Who's going to win? I don't know. I'm leaning more bullish, even though I do think it's possible we could see a little bit more of a retracement, because we are in a new moon to full moon, and usually those 2 weeks we usually dump. And so I'll give you dates on when that's going to turn around. That's my bias. So, you know, I put that aside and I go, okay, what are the charts actually saying? Let's get into it. So Masterclass below, you want to sign up for that, that's free. Also, I just want to remind you that I do have a private, it's called Trading Crypto Ninjas, private mastermind group, where we get together on Zoom 4 times a month to go over our strategies. Also, we are looking at technical analysis training, indicators training, and the link for that is below as well. I'll just really quickly touch on this. You've got the course curriculum down here. There is a free version, so you can sign up for free. Gets you introduced to spot trading, talks a little bit about leverage trading, getting set up for beginners, but then it takes you into portfolio planning, buying land in the metaverse as well, setting yourself up for success. And then the paid version, you've got a whole year's worth of advanced training in spot trading, leverage trading, using charting skills, technical analysis, trading strategies, altcoins, a whole section on altcoins and how to discover whether or not they're valuable or where they're going to go up, which ones are going to give you the greatest gains, potentially. Obviously, we can't guarantee. The whole psychology of investing, mindset, there's replays there of all of our live recordings each week. Advanced training on the Ichimoku Cloud, which I use a lot, and all of the different trading patterns and how to trade them. It's very comprehensive. It will take you a year to go through, but guess what, guys? It takes about a year for you to start getting really confident in leverage trading anyway. And we do both spot and leverage because we think that you need to have a balanced portfolio. So information for that is below. Let's start with the S&P 500 because we could be seeing a crash live right now. Let's have a look at it. Oh, no, actually, let me just go back here. We have been trading up and up and up and up and up, which is absolutely crazy in the stock market for the longest time, overdue for a correction. We broke this key level of support here, retested it as resistance, came back down and created a lower low. So in traditional technical analysis, we go to the bottom of where this channel actually started, which is all the way down here. This would be an absolute disaster. It would be a massive bottoming out of the stock market, and and ridiculous prices, like just totally ridiculous. I don't think that's going to happen. If we get a crash, I think we'll probably sit around 3221 here, but I'm kind of thinking that it just might not go as low as everybody thinks. And the reason why I'm saying that, we're about to get announcements on interest rates. If anybody has actually heard if that announcement's been made or not, I'd love for you to put that in the chat there for me, say hi. But I think that last week there was a massive shock to how badly the American economy was doing, and nobody saw it coming. I'm not quite sure why they didn't see it coming. I really don't, because it's like the dollar's overvalued, inflation's going up. There's been massive amounts of manipulation in the job market, and you know, businesses not being able to open and employ people. So, you know, surprise, surprise. So I think we might get a tempered or a measured response from the Fed this week on interest rates, so that a whole lot of panic is not going to be put into the market. So I just want to come down in here on the 15-minute on the S&P 500, and then we'll go over to Bitcoin and see how has it reacted to this sudden drop. And it's still dropping. It's still dropping. Ichimoku Cloud. This is the Ichimoku Cloud for the stock market that I've got in here. I use the Kraken cryptocurrency Ichimoku Cloud for when we go over to the Bitcoin charts. Yeah, look at this. Ichimoku Cloud is showing a big dip coming. Now, those of you who are familiar with our channel, you know that we use this indicator, conscious crypto traders. We've got to be a bit more conscious, right? We use this one here, moon phases, and with it, whenever there is a, let me get the Ichimoku Cloud out here so you can see it. Whenever there is a, oops, got the wrong thing there. Whenever there is a new moon, we usually dump straight after a new moon, which is exactly what's happening now. Here's another new moon, boom, dump, right? Another new moon up here, dump. Boom. Now, sometimes we only dump a little bit and then we keep going up. See here, we're in an upward trend, the new moon. We got a bit of a dump. It was like about, I think it was about 8% there. And then we kept pumping, traded sideways for a little bit and kept pumping. So that can happen in a new moon to full moon. Full moon, we usually pump. We get to the bottom, we have a bit of a pump. If we're in a downward trend, we pump, reverse, and keep going lower. If we're in an upward trend, we pump and we come back down, and then keep going higher. And I have been saying, let's go over to Bitcoin now. I have been saying for a while now with Bitcoin that this new moon that we've just had to full moon is going to be defining. Oops, got pump alert for Link and Ethereum's crossing. Is going to be a defining moment as to whether or not we are continuing in this bear market of creating lower lows and lower highs, or if we're getting a trend reversal to the upside and we're going to see a parabolic run up this month, and then ending up with a much bigger crash towards the end of the month going into June. That's what I've been saying for months now, warning everybody about that. So let's go into Bitcoin, starting all over again from a big macro perspective. Not going to go too much into it because you'll see here in our Discord channel, Conscious Crypto Traders, every day I've been posting videos on what's been going on, and you can find out the big macro perspective. Today I want to go a little bit more micro, but just before we do that, we have been very clearly in an upward trend since here, June 2021, creating higher lows, right? And now we're creating lower lows, but we're coming to a pinnacle. So guys, it is possible, worst case scenario, it is possible Bitcoin could come back down to 36,196, maybe wick down a little bit lower. 34,000, 32,000, 33,000 are all places where there are a lot of longs in, and where we often get a big bull rally coming in and finding key support. So watch out for that. But this is where we're at, and we're really close to the bottom here, right? Really, really close. Now, the other thing is, on a short-term level, we also have a bullish downward trending channel, which breaks to the upside while it keeps going down, like it could keep going down lower, right? And we keep flirting with resistance, and we're right up against it right now. So let's go into the 4-hourly and have a look at trading setups now that we have got this going here. See, look, we're just right at resistance. And I think that, see this huge candle up here? That's an indication that we might have just topped out. And then, and now we could come back down again. So there's some nice support level here at 37,500, and that is where we dipped out. We dipped a little bit lower than that over the weekend, 37,300. So I think that that's what we have to be really, really watchful of breaking. And if we create some channels here, guys, this is how I end up getting all these lines on my charts. Right, this is critical. It's like, is this upward channel going to win the day, and are we going to come down, or is this downward channel going to win, and are we going to break up? And obviously, the S&P 500, what happens there is going to have a key role in what could happen. So, what do we use to help us figure this out? Now, we use the Ichimoku Cloud here. This is cracking cryptocurrency Ichimoku Cloud, which is set to 24/7 for the cryptocurrency market. And you can see that we are still pretty bullish, bearish rather. We have on the 4-hourly, the lagging span, this line here is in resistance in the price action. We have we were about to cross over until we got this last dump where we've got the conversion line is sitting below the baseline. It looked like it was about to start crossing over, but now with what has just happened, that may not happen. And we do have a decline in the Ichimoku Cloud, which is an indication that going forward in a few more days, it's possible that we could have a downtrend. But whenever we have this straight line here going across the Ichimoku Cloud, this is actually not technical to the Ichimoku Cloud technicals. However, it has been my personal experience watching the chart day in, day out, that when we see a flattening of a line here, instead of, see how it's a bit curvy and round in other places, and when it's straight like that, that's when we can get sudden moves to the upside or the downside. So the other thing we want to bring in to see where we're at is, I like to use the CM Williams VIX, because it's going to tell us where we could bounce and then get a trend reversal to the upside. And we don't have that indicator here on the 4-hourly right now. We're trading above the moving average on the RSI, so that's pretty good. So then I want to come down into the 1 hour and go, okay, which direction are we going to go in? And I think we're going to go sideways for a little bit until we get some definitive action here on the S&P 500, right? It's look at that. It's still going down, guys. It's still going down, and we break this key level support here for the stock market, and we could be seeing a pretty bloody crash. Now, we have been saying that this has been, it forecasts, it's a possibility in this new moon, because this new moon came next to Pluto retrograde, and it also came on a lunar eclipse, and lunar eclipses often see a grander energy of whatever the energy is. And if this energy is a crash, then it's a bigger crash. But let's have a look now at where we could fall to for Bitcoin with the Fibonacci's, right? And I'm just going to take it from where we dumped in the over the weekend. And I'm going to take it up to the top where we peaked out yesterday. And I would be looking at 38,000. If we break 38,000, that's the golden ratio of this local move. If we break that level of support, then it is possible that we could come down, maybe create a double bottom here at 37,300-ish, or we break that, we're creating a lower low, and we're coming all the way down to this next golden ratio, which is at the 36,291 area. Oops. Could we go up from here? It's possible. It is possible, but we've got this golden ratio here has almost got confluence with this trending line up that I drew to the upside, which could take us down to a little bit further, down to 36,113. And could we break that? Yeah, if we break that, guys, it is over. For any hope of the bulls stepping in short term and having a really big rally for this month. It would mean that there would be a bit of a massive sell-off, maybe going down to 30,000, maybe going back into the late 20s. But I think the next 48 hours, even in the next 3 days, are going to be crucial to what direction that we're going to be heading in here. Because at the moment it's not looking good. It looked good this morning. I woke up and I felt bullish, and I was going, oh my goodness, we got a bounce off of that support line on the S&P 500 and everything was going well, and then it just kind of reversed. So if you're looking at trading this, I mean, good luck, and definitely I would be doing this very cautiously. This looks like we've just got maybe a potential M here. So this could have been a double top right there. Look at that, boom, double top M pattern. So this is going to give us a target a little bit closer to where we could go. You have to remember, in an upward trend with crypto, the targets for shorts don't often pan out. They usually fall short. And look at this, we've got confluence, guys. We've got confluence for 37. We got confluence for 37,368. It would be great if we got a double bottom here. Hey, Susan. Hey, Abdul. I just saw everybody saying hi. And Kelly, great. Abdul, you want to go into our, you want to go into our, yeah, look, guys, this is falling. You want to go into our trading crypto ninjas in here so that you can get all of our training. So, guys, I think we're going to see a fall. I'm seeing that we've got, Ethereum is heading down here to 2,700. We've got XRP. Looks like XRP is actually really interesting because XRP broke out of this downward channel looking bullish, and we're coming back down to test it as support. If we fall back down in, it is possible we'll see 54 cents for XRP, and I would expect massive amount of buying happening there because that is really undervalued. XRP is already undervalued, and that is such a cheap XRP. So we could see that happen, or we could just see a rally to the upside. So be very, very careful when you're trading this. Like, if you don't have the guts to do it, sit on the sidelines, wait till we hit support, we bounce off of support. That's a good place to long. When we hit resistance, get out and take your profit. We are in for 2 weeks of huge volatility, and I think that that's a really good strategy to have, is get in, get out, rather than when we're in a bull market, you hold and hold and hold and hold, and it keeps going up and it keeps going up, and you can hold the trade open for a really long time, because when we retrace, we often don't retrace back to lower levels, because if you follow Elliott waves, that each time we dump after an Elliott wave impulse, we dump higher. But when we're in a corrective phase, we dump lower. So that's what we're determining right now. Is the corrective phase over? Have we hit bottom? And are we now getting ready to swing to the upside, or are we going to go lower? And when the market is like that, a really good mindset and a really good strategy is get in, get out, get in, get out, get in at support, get out at resistance, get in at support, get out at resistance. Don't hope the trade's going to keep going down, and don't hope the trade's going to keep going up. And I'll tell you why I say that. Have a look at Bitcoin. Over the weekend, everybody was saying Bitcoin's going to 27,000, 28,000. It's going to dump. It's going to dump. Could go as low as 22,000. And we found really clear support at the 30,300 level. And then we've created a higher low. And now we're waiting to see, will we bounce off of this golden ratio? So if you shorted and you're expecting it to go lower, and you didn't take profit here, you waited, you probably would have got liquidated up here. Right? You probably would have had a stop loss here and got liquidated. That's one of the reasons why when we're in an uptrend, in the macro, shorting is quite perilous. And, you know, some people might even have a morality issue with that as well too. On the 1 hour though, for Bitcoin, it is looking like we could just trade sideways, maybe dip a little bit further down to the golden ratio and go up from there. But this is critical, guys, really, really critical. Yeah, really, really critical. I can't overemphasize it. So what do you do if you're not in a trade? Well, here's the deal. Like as soon as the alarm bell went off, for this here, this key level broken here, one of the things I do is I'll go over into my trades and I'll go, where are the trades that are in profit? What I might just get out and get back in on the dip, right? So that's one key thing that I do. The other thing that I look at are all the support levels underneath me for where you can get back in. And this is what we do in Trading Crypto Ninjas. And when you join the Trading Crypto Ninjas, it's free. The Conscious Crypto Traders channel is free on the daily TA that I do. But when you join the Ninjas, you get daily signals of support lines underneath us. And you also get market analysis. We look at which coins you should be getting in and out of. We're looking a lot at gaming, buying land in the metaverse. I do tutorials on the fly. If you ask me a question, what do I do with my trade? How do we do this? What do we do? I will do a video for you and put it in this channel. And as I said, there's also a year's worth of training in technical analysis. And I see there's a couple of ninjas in the live stream chat there, and one of them, Susan, saying how excellent it's been for her. And it really is really good training. If you are serious about making big money in the crypto market, you're not going to be able to do it learning free stuff off people on YouTube. You're just not, because there's no strategy. They're just giving you small micro moments so that they can build their viewership. The strategies and the planning and the learning of the really good solid TA from beginning to end happen in mentorship or training programs and courses. So just know that you want the big money, you got to do a little bit of investing in yourself. And what's different about ours is that we do live Zoom calls together once every week, 4 weeks out of the month. And then that way there's a lot of backwards and forwards, a lot of support, a lot of individual help with you, helping you make your decisions or giving you the information to make the best decisions. And look what just happened on the CM Williams VIX, guys, just flipped green, which means that this could have been a fake out. This could be a fake out, right? So if people got gung-ho and shorted this, see how it's already retraced to the 50%? Could retrace back here, reverse to the upside, and this M pattern may not play out. So what do? Like when it's like this, you wait for confirmation of direction. There is no confirmation of direction right now. There is indications for bears and there's indications for bulls, because the bears and the bulls have been fighting each other like tooth and nail for a while here, trying to push the price up for the bulls, and the bears trying to force the price back down. And in my opinion, not really succeeding too well in terms of, getting a big dump down. So you need to wait for confirmation. We're at support right now. For a short, you wait for it to break down, come back up, retest previous support as resistance, and then cut back down and create a lower low. Now, a short, in my opinion, would be really dangerous right now because you could immediately bounce off of this golden ratio and then the short could get invalidated very, very quickly. Look how quickly this wicked right here, right? And then retrace back. Look how quickly this here, right? We dump, boom, and then suck right back up here and created higher highs. Didn't come back down. So when you've got lots of support under you, shorting isn't necessarily a good idea. In my opinion, it's better to actually get ready to set up for a long so you don't lose any of your capital. And when it bounces, you've got more room for more profit as it continues to go up, which is what we're all preparing for with the cheeky buy orders in here. Like we do, we follow 13 coins here in Ninjas. And, you know, every day the buy and sell orders are going in here in the mornings. And so you can see all the different levels that you can get in at support in order to get into a really decent long position. So that's available for you when you join the Ninjas group. What else can I say here? I think that's it. I think the Ichimoku Cloud is basically saying going sideways, and I think it's really going to be dependent on what happens here in the S&P. We got a little bit of a bounce, but we've not got a green candle here, right? So let's bring in CM Williams, see what that says on the 1 hour. No. But look at this, the RSI has got a bullish divergence. Can you see that? We have got lower prices on the 1 hour on the price action, but we come down into the RSI and we've got a higher low on the RSI, which is a very classic traditional bullish divergence, which means because it's on the 1 hour, within the next few hours, we could see a reversal, but we can also keep going down as well. And this could go on and on and on, and the bullish divergence not play out for a while yet. Let's go and have a look on the 4 hour and see where we're at right there. We had a bullish divergence here, boom, right there, there it is there, and then we got that played out. That played out really nicely. And we have a bullish divergence here because we created a lower low here. Boom, there. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, a lower low there, but we've got a higher low on the RSI. So I would be watching out for a reversal, which is even more proves my point that shorting where we're at right now with so much support under us without a confirmed break to the downside is a little bit perilous. And look at this, the S&P 500 on the 4 hour, there is notification that we're about to trend reverse to the upside. All these green candles down the bottom here on the CM Williams VIX are telling us that we are going to be going up at some stage. So that's what we need to be watching out for. With Ethereum at the moment, I think is just following Bitcoin, except it's a bit more bullish in my opinion, because look at this. We have a trend reversal pattern, which is an ascending triangle. And the target for that is 2967, which breaks us above this line here, the resistance line. And the big value area high that we want to watch out for is 2860. If we break above that, if you look over here, shorts versus longs, then, you know, it's a little bit of an easy ride to this next level. But still quite a bit of resistance ahead of us. Look at the Ichimoku Cloud on the 4 hour, and I think it's still red, showing a bit of a decline on the 1 hour. And remember, it's new moon. to full moon, and in a new moon we usually, you know, have 2 weeks of downward action. But the biggest thing is this new moon an upward trending new moon or a downward trending new moon? And I would not put my money on this. I would put my observation on this. I would say it's an uptrending new moon. So full moon might end up being a higher high, because look at this, new moon dump, and then we created a higher high. When we're trending down from a new moon to a full moon, we usually get a lower low. Let's have a look at this. When we're trending, this is really important, guys, because, and ninjas, can you talk about this, about how we're using the new moon and the full moon and how it's really helping us kind of be aware of what could be going on in the market? I'm just going to do this one more time. I've said it before, but I want to reiterate it. Whenever we have an upward trending action, a new moon, we dump and then we pump, and the next new moon, we get a higher high. That signifies that we are in an upward trend. When we get a new moon that's in a downward trend, like a bear cycle, we get a dump, we get a bit of a bounce, but then we create a lower low the next time we have a new moon. Lower low, lower low, lower low, higher low, lower low. So kind of like this is signifying that the market's turning. So the next new moon is going to be at the end of May, I believe, going into, end of May. And so this is a really critical turning point for us right in this moment. So has anybody got any questions that you want to ask me about this? I think it's sit on the sidelines and wait if you're not one of the ninjas with your cheeky buy orders already in, because we know how low we're going to go. Oops, let me get that out of the way, and see how this goes. But at the moment, did I bring the CM Williams fix in here? This is Ethereum. Bring in the CM Williams for Ethereum. Don't have a signal for bullish momentum.
I couldn't find Ethereum in your music.
No, we don't have any bullish momentum showing up here, but we do have this bullish pattern, and this could be a fake out. And we're going to know within the next 12 hours, right? We could, if this pattern could get invalidated in the next 12 hours. Awesome. What have we got in the questions? So glad I found ninjas. Thanks, Kelly. I love having you on board. Same. The moon phases have an effect on the market. Oh, thanks, Susan. You're lovely. I've gone back a year and studied the moon phases, and it's uncanny how reliable it's been with confluence. However, still waiting for this pump. Yeah, well, as I said, Kelly, this new moon has already created a higher high and a lower low, which is not what happens when the moon is going to dump for 2 weeks into the full moon. Usually we get a lower low and a lower high. So already we're seeing early signals that we could be in for a trend reversal. So I think that today's close of the market is going to be interesting when the FTSE opens, the Asia market opens, and then the FTSE opens in London overnight for us in US time zones. That's going to be very interesting to see how they respond to what's happened in the United States today. Then tomorrow and the next day are going to be really important with what happens with the Fed. But guys, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th have that's this week, start to have positive astrological effects on the charts, which means that we may not dump as low as all the FUD boys are saying, FUD boys and girls, right? We just may not go low. We may just be coming down to retest key levels of support. So for those of you who really love our style of TA, Love for you to like this video and subscribe, hit the bell and click all. We have a lot of training tutorials. So go back over our playlist where we're teaching technical analysis. We're teaching how to put a strategy together, and that's all available for you on YouTube. If you come into our Conscious Crypto Traders Discord channel, then you can see the daily technical analysis for Bitcoin that I release every morning. And obviously, if you want to join the Crypto Ninjas, the link is below and you can get all the details over there. You can actually see everything you're getting by coming down and clicking these down arrows, because this is where all the training is. And so on and so forth, and just see what's available. You can actually sign up for the free version, so you get a feel for my teaching, you get a feel for what's there, and then you can upgrade later, or you can just dive right in and go, you know what, I do want to make big numbers in crypto, and if we are in a bear market, now is the time to start accumulating, and if we are in a bull market and we're going to head up, you definitely want to be in to ride it all the way up to the top. And how do we know? Love the updates. Thanks, Nicola. Oh, great, Chaotic Coda. We love having you in there. The updates, I think, are great. When could that potentially play out? The bullish divergence on the monthly for Bitcoin. Really good question. Bullish divergences, or any type of divergences on the monthly, could take months to play out, and I'll show you why. If we come down onto the monthly, you will see here, oops, this is Bitcoin. We had a bearish divergence and we had a higher high to a higher, right? We had higher highs in price action. We had lower highs here, and it played out the next month. Boom, big crash, right? So now what you're saying is you're seeing, I haven't looked at the monthly for Bitcoin for a while. So let me just clean my charts up. Before I do that, go to the weekly. If there are divergences on the monthly, you want to go to the weekly, because the weekly will tell you well in advance when there is a trend reversal. So if we have a look at this, we were in way overbought territory here, creating lower lows on the RSI while we were creating higher highs, had a bit of a dip, and then came back up. And for weeks we were going, wow, bearish divergence on the monthly, but also on the weekly. So it was indicating that a big dump was incoming both here and here in advance, right? So where are we at right now on the weekly? I'm not seeing any divergence on the weekly. Let's have a look at the monthly. So to answer your question, Kelly, it's going to depend. You've got to watch out for a, oh yeah, here it is here, right there. Oh, well spotted. I hadn't checked it for a while. Look at that. We have a hidden bullish divergence because we've got lower low on the RSI and we've got higher high. So we could expect this to play out this month, this week, or next week, or the week after, because full moon, we normally see a pump. So any time within the next 2 weeks that this could happen. And the pinnacle for this is in June, which is really interesting because that's when we get Saturn retrograde. So it is possible that we could get a breakout and create an all-time high in the next 3 weeks. That is possible. I don't know how probable that is, right? But definitely if we create a lower low from here, right? If we create a lower low, we come up, we create a lower low, and we come back down by the end of May, because we go into Saturn retrograde. This is Saturn retrograde, boom, dump, right? Saturn retrogrades dump hard. And that's on the 4th of June, 3rd, 4th of June. If we have not created a higher high by then I would say that that is the signal that this was the top of the market, and now we're going to go into a bull market. But having said that, folks, this cycle is different from all the others because we've got manipulation, we've got institutions buying, there's a lot more credibility happening in the crypto market. So it's not just a whole lot of geeky, boys and girls in there anymore. It's starting to get more maturation and therefore manipulation, just like the traditional markets. So we're starting to see breaks in patterns. So when we look at bull cycles and bear cycles previously, we're starting to see a little bit of deviation. Bigger macro, pretty similar, but deviation, like already it's elongated. Like if we create a higher high, this isn't an elongated bear market, right? We've not created a lower low since June 2021, right? We haven't created a lower low since January 2022, right? So this is clearly showing that we are in an upward trend and that we're coming to a pinnacle. And depending on how you read this triangle, is this triangle the symmetrical triangle bullish or bearish? We've come down into it, pumped up into it. So when we've come down, when you come down, let me just draw this. When you have a symmetrical triangle like that, and then we come down, like we come down into it, and then we come down here, right? That is an indication that we're going to get further downward action. We've come down into this, but we pumped up into it and created a higher high. So there's also an argument for the fact that this is a bullish symmetrical triangle. I'll tell you the targets in a moment. So if we break out this month before we hit that Saturn retrograde, we're going to 102,000 Bitcoin as the top of this market, and then we get the corrective waves down. If we break to the downside, it shows that the target is 15,764, which is highly unlikely because this is where the last bull cycle topped out, and there's very strong support here, right there. Look at that. It's highly unlikely that we'll go lower than there because we've not done that before in previous bear cycles. The bear cycle bottom usually comes up above the previous bull cycle top. Look at that. And that is nowhere near 15,000, right? So that's kind of like a little bit of a macro perspective. So yeah, it looks like, just to finish up, where are we at? It looks like we're getting a bit of a bounce back. No, not yet. No, we've crossed the golden rate. We've crossed the, yeah. It's going to be very interesting. I think we're going to see a little bit more further downward action to those lower targets before the Sam Williams VIX turnaround happens. So guys, get in front of your trades, go have a look at them, protect them if you're in trades. Yeah, look at that, we're falling. And yeah, there we go. And go protect your trades, and I will see you in the crypto ninjas, as well as in the Conscious Crypto Traders Discord server throughout the day. And until then, guys, trade consciously. See you there. Bye. Yeah.